My family's poor. Ever since I was born, we've barely had anything. We got by meal to meal. My parents were never home. They were always at the local mahjong parlor or game room. My brother wasn't reliable either. He either went fishing or catching crayfish. He never took care of me. He actually blamed me for ruining his fun. One time, he secretly poured the rat poison powder into my bowl. Thank goodness an aunt who was visiting saw it and stopped me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today. Even so, I loved my family. One day, I went to find my parents and suddenly realized I could see everyone's cards. In my small voice, I told Dad to bet on this card. He scolded me, calling me unlucky, but he had already placed the bet. That was the start of our winnings. In just 6 months, we moved from a beat-up clay house in the village to a 2-story brick house, the first in the village. Later, we moved to the provincial city and bought a big house. Dad made a fortune from gambling, got a Mercedes and started a company. Everything was on track. But then, on my 18th birthday, a girl claiming to be my parents' biological daughter showed up. She was in rags covered in mud, holding a DNA test, crying saying, "Mom, Dad, I'm your real daughter. This one's a fake. I almost died trying to find you. Brother, I'm Sunny." As soon as he heard that, my brother rushed to hug her, yelling at me, "I always knew you weren't my sister. I never liked you because we're not blood related. You took the place of my real sister. You ruined her life." I looked at my parents. My brother's dislike wasn't a surprise. He hated me for stopping him from being with that crazy girl. He has Stockholm syndrome. When he was younger, he was bullied for being fat and ugly. The leader of the bullies was a girl named Lucy, whose dad's a murderer and mom's a thief. She did all sorts of bad things. Yet my brother saw her as his dream girl. Just thinking about her made him terrified, which somehow turned into love. Lucy wasn't interested in my brother at first. But then we got rich. He bought her Cartier watches and Bulgari bags. Anything she wanted, he'd get her. She only showed him a kind face because of that. I knew she didn't love him, only his money, so I stood in their way. Because of that, my brother hated me. But my parents should have known that we wouldn't have this fortune without me. Unfortunately, they looked at me coldly and kicked me out. "Sunny, you've enjoyed living in our house for 18 years. Now you're out," they told me. "We raised you all these years while our real daughter suffered. I hate you so much for that. Get out before I stop being nice." My brother raised his thick fists ready to hit me. I ran out without hesitation. The door slammed shut behind me. With just my ID on me, I had no money. I squatted not far from the door, hoping my parents would calm down and remember our 18 years together. Surely they'd soften. But soon, my legs went numb from crouching in the cold night wind. Suddenly, the door opened, and my parents came out with the maid. Excited, I thought they came to find me. I was about to show myself when I heard my mom say, "We can finally bring our daughter home and not have to see that fake again." Dad laughed and comforted her, "But don't feel too bad. She's been well taken care of. Today was just to put on a show for the fake. She doesn't know we found our real daughter long ago. Haha, with the company going public, we don't need her anymore. Why keep raising someone else's kid? Also, I can't stand her deadpan face, nagging us to stop gambling, and telling her brother to lose weight and study hard. What does she know? We have enough money to support 2 kids. Mom replied they should get rid of my belongings. Hearing this, my hopes shattered. But then I overheard Candy, the maid, mutter, "What heartless people. They wouldn't be here without Sunny, raising a donkey, and then killing it after plowing the field for so long without any affection. How disgusting." I realized not everyone in this world was blind to the truth, so I had to help Candy out. I walked up to her. She was happy to see me. "Sunny, you're still here." I took some clothes from her and said, "I heard what they said. Candy, you should leave this family too. Take a break for now. I'll help get you a good job." I knew the character of everyone from being around the gambling scene, and could get Candy a good gig. I took one last look at the house, feeling nothing but detachment. Without me, they'd still be in that small village, living in a cramped, damp clay house instead of enjoying the good life now. My foolish parents really thought their success was all they're doing. But without me, they'd be nothing. The one relief was that I never told anyone about my ability to see through things. Otherwise, they would have used me until I was dead. I borrowed some money from Candy to get started and headed to the biggest local casino. The security wouldn't let me in, calling me kid not old enough. I showed my ID. Full of disdain, he said, "This ain't the place for kids like you. Don't cry when you lose." Without another word, I walked in. They had all sorts of games: sports, roulette, slot machines, horse racing. I chose the ones that made money fast. I didn't expect to see someone I know here. Sunny, who recently transformed into a wealthy heiress, is all decked out in designer brands. She's surrounded by a bunch of people, but they're just casino shills trying to win her money. I guess Sunny really is their biological child. She inherited the gambling gene. When she spots me, Sunny stomps over in her high heels looking all arrogant. Well, look who it is. Isn't this the fake who got kicked out by my parents? A little beggar like you dares to show up here? Security, get him out of here. I just laughed. I said, "This is a business place, not your private property. Why can't I be here? Plus, who knows who's gonna win or lose here?" My words really ticked Sunny off. For 18 years, she thinks I took her place as the rich kid. She never knew the tough times I went through, eating scraps, freezing in a cold room with rats for company. She thinks all her wealth was grabbed by me, not realizing I suffered in her behalf. Now that the tree's been planted, she gets to enjoy the shade. I smirked. Who you scared of? If you're scared, then you're a dog. Sunny, blinded by anger, kept betting against me. Worked perfectly. I was winning quicker and quicker. Soon, my few $100 turned into thousands, then tens of thousands, while Sunny's expression visibly worsened. "Wanna keep playing, rich girl? Don't tell me you're out of money already. Just tens of thousands? You rich heiresses sure are stingy." Others started watching Sunny too. Her face went pale and she glared at me with hatred, then screamed, "Grab her! She's cheating. No way she's winning this much otherwise." Security took me to the casino's back room. A sharply dressed guy looked surprised to see I was just a kid. "Nathan, this girl hasn't lost once since she came in. We think she's cheating." I've seen this kind of situation before. Nathan noticed I wasn't fazed and seemed intrigued. "Have the guts to cheat on my turf?" I said, "I'm not cheating. Don't believe me? Search me." Nathan's guys searched me head to toe, didn't find a thing. Nathan took a drag of his cigarette, then asked, "What's your name, kid? Who taught you?" I shook my head. Never learned from anyone, but I've got my own winning methods. "I'll give you guys half of today's winnings, let's be friends." Nathan chuckled, "You've got some nerve, kid. Wanna play bigger?" I shook my head. "Know when to quit while you're ahead. But I'll be back. If there's a good project, count me in. I'll make sure you win." Nathan's eyes gleamed as he handed me a card. "The name's Nathan. Let's be friends. Without that draggy family, my life can only get better." With the money, I rented an apartment and started gearing up for college. Thankfully, I got my acceptance letter before leaving. Otherwise, they'd have tossed me aside. Thinking of Sunny's furious face as I left made me chuckle. Soon Nathan called me. "Wendy, we got a shipment of jade stones. Interested?" Gem betting is big business. Some make it rich overnight while others lose everything. I'm not worried though. I've got this cheat code like X-ray vision. I can see if a stone's hiding jade or junk. Nathan paused. "Feels like I might be exploiting them." He laughed. "Nah, not exploiting. Thanks for thinking of me. If we lose, it's all on me, not a penny from you. Gambling on stones is risky business. My parents were into it, which leveled them up to city elite status. Before, they were just middle class. They'd have me pick stones indirectly. I'd subtly influence their choices, while making them believe the decisions were theirs. That night with Nathan, the event was full of the city's wealthy, my parents included. The room was filled with uncut jade stones, a matter of pure luck. Expertise didn't mean much. My folks were fixated on one particular stone. It had a visible green vein, but was mostly worthless inside. "I want that one." I pointed to a stone near them. "Inside, there's a big piece of jade worth millions." Hearing this, my parents' eyes lit up as they moved to guard it. "Little brat, we had our eyes on that. Get your own," they yelled. While they were busy buying the stone, I silently celebrated. I pointed out a few seemingly good stones to them, and they snagged those too, spending a lot of money. Seeing all the stuff they bought, I pretended to be annoyed. Nathan assured me, no worries, it's all luck and gem betting. My parents started berating me. This isn't a place for lowlifes like you. They'd never liked me. I always thought it was favoritism toward my brother, not realizing they knew I wasn't theirs, exploiting me for money. Now, I'm showing them what it means to be outsmarted. I bought up all the leftovers no one wanted. Nathan, you looked so concerned for me. Buying these little stones, you said, what's the point? Even if there's jade, it's not worth much. Gotta fight for the big ones, right? I shook my head. Bigger jade is usually super pricey. But I just checked those big ones. And they're mostly a loss. These small ones, though? They break even at worst. Some could make 100 times more. Nathan sighed, clueless to the truth. I comforted him, telling him not to worry. Even if we lose, I won't let you fork out a dime. No time to waste in fear. People there helped my parents cut the stones open. Piece by piece. I watched the light in my parents' eyes dim. Their faces got darker with each stone. Nothing valuable came out. I'd intentionally fought them for useless rocks. So they'd take a hit financially. Other folks opened theirs too. Only 1 or 2 had jade. But not worth much. All eyes turned to my small stones. Even my parents. They sneered, saying, so what if these small ones have jade? Do they even matter? Everyone doubted these little stones had anything. But one cut. A collective gasp followed. Glass quality. Oh my God, that's top-tier jade. And it's a deep green, no less. Anyone in this gamble knows. The clearer it is, the higher the quality. Top-quality jade like glass is pure. Shiny as hell like glass. No flaws. This tiny glass jade alone is valued at millions, maybe tens of millions. The rest all open too. Each worth 10 times their weight. That one glass jade made my trip worth it. I knew my gamble paid off tonight. Even Nathan saw me differently. Before leaving, my parents were furious. They lost out. While I raked it in, jealousy fueled their remarks. Spitting behind me. You're going after rich guys at your age? Still got no shame? Quick to jump into an old man's arms. All for money. Or how'd you get to this place? Clearly, you don't deserve to be our daughter. Ha, I couldn't care less. Nathan frowned. Wanted to speak up for me. But I shook my head. No need. They're just on their last legs. I calculated the profits from the stones. Cutting Nathan in. We're talking over $5 million. He was thrilled. Said he'd bring me along in the future. I split the winnings. Some went into Nathan's casino. Some to my own investments. Even Jiangqing feels second-rate compared to the big gambling cities. Before school started, I hit the casinos hard. And won big again. Came back and bought myself a villa. Plus a flashy pink-purple sports car. Ready to settle down for school. No way did I expect to bump into the real deal Sunny in college. Of course, we end up in the same class. She spotted me. Cornered me with her girl gang. Because of you, I got embarrassed at the casino. I won't let this slide. I smirked. Come on, it's 2024. Are we really doing the bullying thing still? She got miffed. One of her minions tried to snatch my phone. I dodged. Oh, so it's a beatdown. Come any closer, I'm calling the cops. They froze. Dared not touch me. Sunny fumed. Stomped over. Almost took a swing at me. I caught her hand. Not gonna help, huh? I glared at them. How much did she pay you? I'll double it. If I get any more trouble from you, don't blame me for hitting back. We live by the law now, Sunny. You can't bend it to punish me. They scattered. Only Sunny stood her ground, full of hate. You wait. I'm not done with you. She stormed off. But I knew this wasn't over. Didn't expect her to play so dirty. Spread baseless rumors about me. Had someone snap photos of me with Nathan. Going to the casino. Sleazy captions, the works. Claimed I stole a rich family's place. Then sought a sugar daddy out of desperation. Sunny even commented, backing the story up. Wendy was raised as a fake rich kid my parents took in for 18 years. They treated her like a daughter. When I came back home, she threatened to stay away unless I left. Couldn't believe she mixed with some old guy. Always out. Notorious with casinos and clubs. Breaking my folks' hearts. I treated her like a sister. And she tried to hit me. A photo showed me holding Sunny's arm. Painfully misunderstood. People online ripped into me. Calling me an ingrate. Makes sense now, dressing so nice. Guess shortcuts are her style. She looks like trouble. No surprise. She shouldn't be a campus beauty. What a joke. I remember being snapped my first college day. Ended up on the crush confessions page. Bunch of seniors wanted my number. One even said if I wasn't the campus queen, he'd eat dirt upside down. That photo of mine made it to the beauty top 3, beating Sunny with heaps of votes. Honestly, didn't care about being campus queen. If Sunny wanted it so bad, she could have it. But spreading BS rumors was another story. Revenge wasn't in my nature. But I wouldn't turn the other cheek. I passed Nathan Sunny's info, asked him to dig up some dirt, ties to the casinos, made it a cakewalk for him. Turns out, Sunny's past with the Smiths wasn't great. But she didn't have it all bad. Her foster family was kind. Yet Sunny hit the gambling life young. First, Sunny tried to scam some money. But when that didn't work out, she started stealing from home. Her adoptive parents began to suspect something when they kept losing thousands of dollars. They caught her in the act, but instead of punishing her, they tried talking sense into her. Sunny blamed them for not giving her money to gamble, and ended up hating them for it. She mixed with sketchy people from the casino, and even though her adoptive parents tried to find her, things turned sour. Her adoptive dad suffered a heart attack after seeing Sunny's dramatic makeup and irresponsible lifestyle, and her adoptive mom passed away from heartbreak soon after. Sunny showed no remorse and gambled away their house and money. Around that time, the Smiths found her, got her a college degree, and honestly, her life story is way more dramatic than mine. I was satisfied with this investigation. I anonymously shared all the dirt about Sunny and personally commented on the rumor thread, proving my connection as a casino shareholder and denying any shady relationship with Nathan. I dared them to present evidence, and if not, warned of a defamation lawsuit. My blunt response, along with the lack of evidence from the original poster, shifted public opinion in my favor. People started praising me for being strong and beautiful. Comments started appearing about Sunny's past, highlighting her troublesome behavior, and dismissing any claims of her being nice or beautiful. Her fake college credentials and earlier escapades became a joke. Things escalated and hit the trending topics, resulting in Sunny's expulsion from school and impacting her parents' company stocks. Then my brother John called me up nonstop. I was surprised, thought he'd deleted my number by now, but I had some news for him anyhow. Before I left, I stumbled upon a little secret. His girlfriend Lucy was pregnant, and it wasn't his child. John was clueless while Lucy dreamed of marrying into the Smiths, with a demand of a $5 million dowry. I didn't tell the parents, but it won't stay hidden once her belly grows. When I hinted about Lucy to John, he seemed taken aback. I told him about their parents' objection to Lucy, due to her not being clean enough, and their refusal to pay the dowry, citing poor business conditions. "Don't you want me to give up on Lucy too?" he asked, upset. "No way," I replied. "Love is priceless, and $5 million shouldn't stop you. Our parents can pull out a few $100,000 for gambling, just like that. If they say no, you should threaten them a bit." John forgot about defending Sunny, praising me instead for understanding him. Unlike Sunny, who badmouthed Lucy to me, he said bitterly. Afterward I chuckled, letting it all play out. Back in the day, I didn't want Lucy in the family because of her deceitful ways. Now, with the scandal uprooting everything, I'm content letting her shake things up with her chaos. Sure enough, the next day John went all dramatic, threatening self-harm if not allowed to marry Lucy. Fouling up his parents' minds, he secured their reluctant permission, calling me to gloat. "Thanks to you, sis. I put my act on and they caved. Lucy and I are getting married." I sweet-talked him more, planning my own little sideshow. After all, it's not my problem if Lucy stirs the pot once she's in the Smiths family. Meanwhile, I'll enjoy the chaos, letting the pieces fall where they may. If there's not enough money to go around, you're gonna end up in trouble. In serious cases, you could get taken over or go bankrupt. My parents never really had the knack for business. They used to rely on me, using me as a perpetual money-making tool. Now that I'm out of the picture, they gamble all they want. But their daughter is an even bigger gambler. Who's gonna go bankrupt if not them? 6 months later, a month before Lucy's due date. Sunrise Inc. went belly up due to poor management. What a surprise. The speed was shockingly fast though. I've heard since Lucy married into the Smiths, she hasn't had a single peaceful day. She's either eating bird's nest or abalone, buying all kinds of luxury goods. She burns money like it's nothing. When I was around, John could spend all he wanted, and our folks didn't mind. But now her being around just made the already shaky sun rising. Even worse, to cater to her needs, John even secretly sold the family house. Luckily, our parents found out and stopped him. And the real daughter, Sunny, spends her days arguing with Lucy. She's got no time to bother me anymore. The Smiths are in a complete mess. But my parents are swallowing their pride because of their soon-to-arrive grandson. If they find out the kid isn't John's, I can't imagine the drama that'll unfold. I can already picture the chaos. So right before the winter break, I specially prepared a big red envelope and went back to that house I loathed so much. I knocked on the door. Sunny answered and frowned when she saw me. She was about to shut the door, but my sharp-eyed brother saw me and pulled me right in. These past 6 months, I've been advising him non-stop, acting as his supportive little sister. He gets whatever he wants from me. Now he treats me kinder than our own mom and dad. He glared at Sunny. You better watch yourself. If not for you coming back, our family wouldn't be like this now. You're like a jinx. How else could you bring bad luck to your foster parents? She's the lucky charm for our family. Get out if you know what's good for you. Inside I was laughing, but outwardly I stayed calm, putting the big red envelope into my brother's hand. It's for my unborn nephew. It should be soon, right? Is sister-in-law doing well? I made some small talk, and my brother was over the moon, pocketing the envelope. Even my parents didn't show their usual hostility. Instead, they seemed slightly eager to please. Maybe they figured my brother was right, but they realized it way too late. Just then there was a knock on the door. I rushed to open it. It was a delivery. My brother looked curious. Who sends stuff during the holiday? But when he saw what was inside, his face turned dark, anger radiating from him. He stormed into the bedroom, throwing the photos directly at Lucy, his wife. You little. Who's this man in the photos? Lucy panicked at the sight, but refused to admit it. These must be photoshopped. They're not real. John, you have to believe me. Believe you? How? I fearlessly chimed in. Brother, why is sister-in-law visiting the OBGYN with this guy? Could it be? I trailed off, watching her face change. My brother was beyond furious, even though he'd never laid a finger on her before. What man could endure such betrayal? He went ballistic, pulling Lucy from the bed. Our parents rushed to intervene, but seeing the photos themselves, they couldn't hide their anger. They just let my brother lash out at Lucy. They'd been holding in resentment towards her for so long, now wishing my brother would just finish her off. You whore! Conning our good son, and extorting us for money. 5 million. But my love-struck brother clearly cared more about the betrayal than the money. He wailed, for you I sacrificed everything. Even sold our house to give you a better life. And you betrayed me. I'll kill you. We'll die together. Upon hearing about the house, our parents confronted him. You really sold the house. Turns out, even after being caught, he went through with selling it recently. Knowing this, our parents sat on the ground wailing. A shattered Sunny joined them, devoid of her former grace. My brother's punches rained down on Lucy. Blood soon seeped out from beneath her. Lucy went into labor. In the end, I called 911 to take Lucy away. The baby was stillborn, and a DNA test confirmed it wasn't my brother's. After that, he went berserk, storming the delivery room, and vanished with Lucy. No one knew where they went, until police later found them in a rundown house on the outskirts. Both dead. Brother wrapped tightly around Lucy. After drinking a fatal poison, he made Lucy ingest some too. Turns out, even in death, my lovelorn brother wanted Lucy by his side. It was tragic. Losing their son, my parents aged 10 years overnight. Their house was gone, the company collapsed, and they were back where they started with nothing. They finally realized I was their ticket to wealth. But their golden daughter was a gambler just like them, even more reckless. With no funds to gamble, Sunny went astray. I don't know if she's involved in illegal activities, but I know she's living a tough life. And my parents approached me once more, begging at my school's entrance for me to come back home. As long as you're back, we'll love you like before. Yeah, love meaning using me to get back on top, huh? I ignored them, but they showed up day after day. Eventually, the school's counselor asked me to settle it, saying it was causing a negative impression. I had no choice but to talk to them. Seeing them up close for the first time, I realized their arms were already going gray. But even aged, their greed lingered. Once they saw me, my dad clung to me. My dear daughter, we've lived together for 18 years. We raised you with difficulty. After all these years together, how can you just leave us like that? If it weren't for us, who knows where you'd be dead now? I looked at their faces full of greed and felt nothing but disgust. I coldly pushed their hands away. You guys were the ones who kicked me out. I'm not Sunny anymore. You brat. You want us to die in front of you before you accept us, huh? Fine, we'll just go die. Hold on. A strong voice came from the side. A man in a sharp suit stepped out of a stretch limo. He looked gentle, but carried an undeniable authority. My parents instinctively stepped back a few paces, intimidated. Good kid, I finally found you. This man claimed to be a gambling king, with countless assets in Sin City, and apparently I'm his daughter. I stared at him dumbfounded. He felt familiar. But how did he know I was his daughter? He leaned in and whispered, "Our family has a natural ability, X-ray vision. Ever since a little girl, who won every bet showed up in Vegas. I knew you had to be my daughter. I was overseas at the time. And as soon as I returned, I came looking for you. My daughter. I finally found you." My parents had already fled, but my gambling king dad's bodyguards easily caught them, like hawks snatching baby chicks. My dad looked at them with cold hatred. For all these years, you should have known the consequences of taking my child. Dad told me my mom died giving birth early, and he couldn't return from a business trip in time. By the time he came back, his wife was dead and his daughter was gone. Surveillance showed a nanny who used to steal my mom's jewelry sneakily took away the baby. The footage was too blurry to identify her. But my adoptive parents took me for revenge on my real parents. Now karma has caught up with them. Their son is dead, and their daughter caught a disease because of her wild lifestyle. They will face charges for child trafficking and spend their remaining years in prison. Dad brought me back to Las Vegas. Since Mom died, loads of women were sent to his bed, but he refused them all. He warned others, "I only love Mila in this life." Later, I learned about my mom from my dad. She met him when he was a poor guy, and she's the one who had X-ray vision. She never cared about his humble beginnings. They built everything from the ground up together. Even though she had X-ray vision, Mom never let Dad gamble, saying, "Luck runs out." Most money they earned went to charity. "Be grateful, be content," she always said. She gambled only 3 times. Once to rescue Dad from some thugs, another to set up Dad's first business capital, and the last when Dad faced business trouble. After those 3 times, she retired from gambling. Yet after Mom's death, Dad built the biggest casino as a tribute to her memory. But he never gambles. That's his promise to Mom. Dad bought me a whole resort area, built a 20,000 square foot villa compound. It has a golf course, a horse track, an outdoor pool, a gym, a bar, a private cinema, all kinds of entertainment. I'm sorry, my daughter, for the hardship you've faced all these years. For the rest of your life, with Dad by your side, you do whatever you want. My eyes filled with tears. Having a loving, rich dad feels so amazing. I pouted and playfully leaned onto Dad's back. Okay, so when are you taking me to Las Vegas? Dad looked at me with endless affection. You're nothing like your mother, are you? If you want to go, we'll buy a ticket right now. I closed my eyes, secretly making a wish. I told my mom up in the sky, "Don't worry, Mom. I'll take good care of Dad. For the rest of our lives, Dad won't be lonely anymore. And I won't be alone again." The end.